Four toilets sharing for 4,000 people in the Gaza as war rages on. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. United Nations Agency Chief Philip Lazarani said that the Middle East is on the edge of an abyss as a result of the war between Israel and Hamas. He said violence could spill over across the region and warned about the dire situation for civilians inside Gaza, calling again for humanitarian aid corridors into the territory. Mr. Lazarani said he fears the world is now losing its humanity. Speaking about the growing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Mr. Lazarani said that 2.2 million Palestinians, half of whom have been displaced, are basically lacking everything. There's no water. You have four toilets for 4,000 people. They are living on the floor, he said. We are on the brink. If there is no water anymore in the Gaza Strip, things will accelerate, and the disaster which is already unfolding under our eyes will become even worse, Mr. Lazarani said. Meanwhile, the Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza is preparing to open from the Egyptian side to deliver aid to the Gaza Strip today. The World Health Organization said that the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is spiraling out of control, while Palestinian health officials says more than 3,000 people have been killed. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel will not block humanitarian aids going into Gaza from Egypt, but it will not allow supplies into Gaza from its own territory until Hamas release all hostages. The U.S. State Department issued a rare worldwide alert yesterday to advise all U.S. citizens abroad to exercise increased caution as protests have erupted throughout the Middle East. Right now I'm urging everyone to go back into history and probably see if you can find documents from 1948 to present and see who is responsible for all this mess. If you don't want to go back that far and you want to play it a little easier, you can just go to YouTube, look up some of the documentaries, listen with an open mind, listen different speakers, not just one, several narrators, use common sense and your God-given wisdom, and you would be amazed that a lot of what you are hearing and what you were hearing all your life is wrong. Empower yourself with knowledge. Never stop learning. Vita Sign Literatus Marces, life without learning is dead. Please, everyone, I urge you, learn about that region. Two men have been taken into custody following a report that they were seen driving around the corporate area yesterday, reportedly monitoring automated banking machines. The Honda Fit motor vehicle in which the men were traveling was intercepted by members of the Specialized Operations Unit along Hope Road sometime after 2 o'clock yesterday. The men are said to be from Seaview Gardens in St. Andrew, so they have just been driving around scoping out automated banking machines. Okay. Cleon Mills, the mechanic who was arrested and charged in connection with a car stealing ring in Old Harbor in St. Catherine, pleaded guilty yesterday and is to be sentenced next year. On August 1st, police conducted an operation in the Gardenwood community during which 11 stolen motor vehicles were found. Days later, investigators charged Mills, otherwise called Talman, with larceny of motor vehicle and receiving stolen property after he failed to account for the vehicles. The vehicles were seized and a comprehensive investigations launched, which resulted in Mills being charged. Meanwhile, the Department of Correctional Services is grappling with a high rate of illiteracy among juveniles housed at its facility. DCS operates the Metcalf Street Juvenile Remand Center in South Camp Juvenile Center for Girls, Rio Cobre, and Hilltop Juvenile Centers. Director of Juvenile Service at the Department of Correctional Service, Claudette Hamilton, said more than 83% of the 204 wards are illiterate. And this brings us back to people buying school bags for their children with a big DUNCE written on it. 7 alleged extortionists were nabbed during a major police operation in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew on Wednesday afternoon. The operation was led by Assistant Commissioner Gary Mackenzie, head of the JCF's Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch. He said the men are expected to be charged for various offenses and placed before the courts. ACP Mackenzie said the operation is a continuation of the recently launched Operation Transportation Streamline and will be conducted in other townships across the island. 4 people are in custody in relation to the seizure of 2 firearms and ammunition in Betheltown in Westmoreland yesterday. A rifle and an imitation firearm and 11 rounds of ammunition were seized during a pre-dawn operation in the Belvedere community, and the operation was a joint police-military effort. Onto sports, the Jamaica Football Federation has appointed Xavier Gilbert as head coach of the senior women's national team for the two upcoming games of the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup qualifier on October 25th and 29th. Gilbert was an assistant with former coach Lauren Donaldson. The Federation said in a statement yesterday that a squad of players has been selected for the two games against Panama and Guatemala on October 25th and 29th respectively, and the names will be released in short order. The JFF in September did not renew the contract for former head coach Lauren Donaldson following the Reggae Girls' historic feat of qualifying for the FIFA Women's World Cup twice, a first for any English-speaking Caribbean country. And they did not renew his contract because the JFF hierarchy wanted a yes man and they could not get that from Mr. Donaldson. Meantime, giving up a two-goal lead after the first hour, Petersfield FC of Westmoreland held on to beat Grace Inn of St. Mary 5-4 on penalties after playing out a 2-2 draw following extra time in Sunday's final of the Jamaica Football Federation Championship. Petersfield FC, who will now join fellow Westmoreland team Reno in the championships, ended the season unbeaten, but both finalists had previously qualified for the championship after winning their semi-final games a week earlier. Meanwhile, in the third-place playoff, St. Bessie United from St. Elizabeth beat Seaford FC 2-1 with goals from Rajay Wright and Orlando Ricketts, and also qualified for the championships as well. Jamaica Reggae Boys will also face Canada next month in the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinals with a berth in the 2024 Copa America, going to the winner of the home and away basis series. Canada, Mexico, and the USA and Costa Rica were given byes to the final 8 of the competition based on the March 2023 CONCACAF rankings. So Jamaica, Panama, Honduras, Trinidad and Tobago advanced via a qualifying round in the September and the October FIFA match windows. The 56th ranked Reggae Boys will now host the 44th ranked Canada on November 17 with the rematch 4 days later at Toronto. Schoolboys Soccer Manning Cup first round will wrap up tomorrow with 13 matches, and most games are just a completion of the season as most first and second place have been decided except for Group B, Kingston Technical and Tivoli in Group B. Tivoli is on 19 and Kingston Tech is on 18. And their final game tomorrow will decide who make it to the next round, as one is in second and one is in third place. Dacosta Cup second round is now set to kick off today as 32 teams have advanced to this next round. There will be 3 games today and 13 tomorrow. The 3 matches today will see Irwin face Stets at Irving, BB Coke will take on Paul Bogle at Stets, and Morant Bay and Glenmore will play at York Oval. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite community radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.